The title of this devotional is called Dishing Up Love, and actually is written by Janet Templeton DeVries. Now she is writing about a cat that she sort of rescued, and I thought this would be a good devotional since we have a lot of cats, cat families, cat parents, and also dogs. But I want to start with the scripture that she is going to, that she's referring to. It's from John chapter 21, verses 15 through 17. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." A second time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter felt hurt because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." I could see the cat through the glass patio door petitioning for breakfast. I had spent the night at my mother's place, and because she was leaving early in the morning, she had asked me to feed the stray she had recently adopted. Muggs, a Scottish fold, had been beautiful but bore signs of neglect. A piece of one ear was missing, as were most of his teeth. He looked malnourished and was missing patches of fur from his body and twice broken tail. Tests revealed Muggs had been severely abused, and a veterinarian advised my mother he wouldn't live much longer. Undeterred by the diagnosis, Mom started Muggs on a regimen of supplements and high-quality food to make him more comfortable. She made a bed for him in her laundry room, complete with cat door from a previous pet, and lavished him with love. Even though he bore the marks of a hard life, Muggs was dignified and carried himself with tenacity and class. He held his head high and walked as straight as his hobbled legs would permit. Most important, however, his neglect hadn't destroyed his gentle spirit. Despite his difficult life, Muggs was pure, unconditional love, and showed it with his purrs and head bumps. The day I was to tend to Muggs was unusually chilly for Texas. I had an engagement to get to and hurriedly prepared his breakfast. When I finished, I grabbed the bowls, slung my purse over my shoulder, and flew out the door. Muggs was outside waiting. "Morning, Muggs," I said offhandedly while quickly setting the bowls on the concrete and rushing past him. "Eat heartily." As I strapped on my seatbelt, I saw Muggs slowly make his way to his meal. Backing from the driveway, I noticed he had sat down next to his breakfast but wasn't eating. The cat looked at me with a kind of sadness as he watched me drive away. I returned at dusk, surprised to see Muggs still seated by his untouched breakfast. "What's wrong, little guy?" I asked as I brushed by. "Not feeling well?" He looked at me, through me, the way cats do. Improbable as it may sound, I felt patience in his expression, the kind that comes from a loving teacher. About that time, my mother drove up. I explained Muggs had sat by his uneaten food all day, not even moving to find a warmer spot. "Did you stroke his head after you gave him the food?" she asked. "He won't eat unless he gets a pat or two." Mom glanced at Muggs. After his head pat, he'll look up at you and give you a smile of thanks. Can you believe it? An actual smile. She nodded. After his pat, he'll eat. By then she was stroking Muggs. "He's such a cutie. I just assumed that you would take some time with him when you fed him." But I hadn't. I had hardly acknowledged him as I focused on my schedule. I realized Muggs had felt this rushed attitude because he needed love more than he needed food. I crouched to stroke Muggs's ears. His eyes looked on mine with such love, humbling me. Lesson learned. We all need food to survive, but it always tastes better when served with love. But I discovered the lesson goes deeper still. Each of us needs love and courtesy every day. Maybe intentionally withholding such kindnesses from others is a kind of mistreatment. If we don't feel loved and respected, we're harmed emotionally. Without extending a kind of reverence to others, I came to understand we miss an opportunity to be nurturing. I remember Jesus' words, "Feed my sheep." Perhaps he meant to dish up love, respect, and compassion. Feeding time, when viewed this way, is never ending. We all need to be fed. It took one loving cat to show me these important truths and place them in my heart. And that story sort of reminds us that we need to love one another, not just feeding them, but being kind and attentive to each other. Thank you.